When Karen Marlowe consigned their mother's ring to auction, she thought she'd crush her sister. She didn't know the woman beside her would take it all away. Karen settled into her front row seat with a satisfied smirk, convinced she had already won.
Lisa won't be getting this ring back. Not now, not ever.
Under the spotlight, their mother's ring gleamed on dark velvet, the ring Eleanor had promised to Lisa on her deathbed.
Lot 42. A vintage diamond ring, circa 1950s. We'll start the bidding at $5,000.
She's not even here. She gave up, just like I planned.
The woman beside her remained still, paddle resting in her lap, expression unreadable.
Just some old woman here to watch the show. Nothing to worry about.
Do I hear 5,500? 5,500 on the floor.
Let them bid. I set a high reserve to make sure Lisa could never afford it anyway. This is my moment.
3 months earlier, Eleanor lay in a hospital bed. Her final words meant only for Lisa. Eleanor pressed the ring into Lisa's hand and whispered, "It's yours. Keep it safe."
I'll never take it off, Mom. I promise.
Karen stood in the doorway watching. The ring had always been a sore point.
The ring should be mine. Mother never saw me.
A month after the funeral, Karen found the ring in Lisa's jewelry box.
Exactly where I expected. Now I'll make sure she never gets it.
She took it directly to an auction house and consigned it with a reserve of $15,000.
If you want the ring so badly, bid like everyone else. It's out of my hands now.
Lisa stood frozen, the phone trembling in her hand. She hadn't said a word.
Still upset? I told you, if you want the ring, bid like everyone else. I am not your personal museum.
You think you've won, but I won't let you take our mother's ring without a fight.
Lisa called her family attorney the next morning and explained Karen's scheme. The attorney advised a private phone registration and a floor agent to avoid Karen inflating the price on purpose. That evening, Lisa filled out the online bidder registration, checking the box marked anonymous.
Evelyn, I need you to sit in that auction tomorrow. Paddle 32. Karen can never know I am involved.
I'll be right beside her. She won't suspect a thing.
Bid whatever it takes. It's my mother's ring. I'll pay any price to get it back.
Karen's $15,000 reserve meant nothing. Now, Lisa was ready to go far beyond it. And Karen had no clue. By the next morning, Evelyn had her instructions, her paddle, and a seat next to the woman who thought she'd already won. The bidding crept upward. 6,000, then 7, and Karen sat back, watching the numbers climb.
Lisa could never afford this. She's probably crying at home right now.
7,500. Do I hear 8?
Karen scanned the rows of bidders, deliberately searching for her sister's face, and found nothing.
Not here. She gave up, just like I knew she would.
Beside her, the woman with the auburn hair hadn't moved, her paddle still resting on her lap, like a forgotten prop.
8,000 on the telephone. 9,000 from the floor. Going once at 9.
9,000. Not bad. But I set the reserve so she could never touch it, and now it's just extra cash in my pocket.
Under the hot auction lights, the diamond caught a flash, as if the ring itself was waiting. Karen leaned back, crossing her legs, already counting the profit. She had no idea the real battle hadn't even started. A telephone bidder jumped in aggressively, pushing the price to 10,000 in sharp increments.
10,000 on the telephone. 11 from the floor. Who'll give me 12?
11,000. After commission. That's still a pretty penny, and Lisa gets nothing.
12,000. I have 12,000 on the floor.
12 already? This is better than I ever expected. Mother's ring is finally paying me back.
The woman beside her still hadn't raised her paddle. Her hands remained folded, her face placid. Karen glanced over, dismissing her again. Just another spectator who couldn't afford to play.
12,500. Do I hear 13?
Keep going. Every bid is more money for me. Lisa can't touch this.
But the air in the room had thickened, and the auctioneer's pace quickened, as if sensing a bigger fish near the surface.
12,500. Going once at 12,500.
The telephone bidders went quiet. A dense silence spread across the floor.
Going twice.
Beside Karen, the woman with auburn hair lifted her paddle for the first time, smooth and unhurried.
Finally. Another bidder. Keep pushing the price higher, whoever you are.
The paddle number, 32, glinted under the chandelier. Karen noticed it, then forgot it instantly.
I have a new bid on the floor. 12,500 paddle 32.
Just some random bidder. Probably a retiree with too much money. Doesn't matter. It's all cash for me.
The woman's face remained as placid as still water, offering no hint of intent. The auctioneer acknowledged her with a quick nod, and the bidding war roared back to life. The telephone bidder leaped back in, pushing the price to 14, then 16,000 without hesitation.
16,000. Do I hear 17?
16 already. That's more than I ever imagined. Lisa couldn't possibly. But where is she?
The woman with the auburn hair raised her paddle again, matching every phone bid with unhurried precision.
17,500 on the floor, 18 on the telephone. We're at 18,000.
18. This is getting out of hand. Why would someone pay this much for a simple ring?
Karen's fingers tightened on her own paddle, her earlier glee chilling into an unsteady flutter.
20,000. 21,000. 22,000 on the telephone. Do I hear 23?
22,000. That's absurd. Unless... No, she's not here. She can't be.
A cold knot formed in Karen's stomach, but she couldn't name it, not yet.
25,000. Going once, going twice, for the last time.
Please stop. This is too high. Something's wrong.
New bidder on the floor. 25,500.
Before the hammer could fall, the woman with auburn hair raised her paddle again. 26,000.
26,000. I have 26 on paddle 32.
That paddle number, 32. Why does it tug at me? No, it's impossible. I've never seen her before.
She forced herself to look away, but the image of that number stayed like an after-image.
She's just a wealthy collector with deep pockets. That's all. Nothing to do with Lisa.
27,000 from the floor. 27 against the telephone. Do I hear 28?
The bidding refused to stop, and somewhere deep in her chest, Karen's confidence started to crack. The woman beside Karen raised her paddle again. $30,000.
30,000 on the floor. Paddle 32.
30,000. That kind of money could clear all my debt, but it feels wrong.
Karen's hand trembled against her paddle. The greed and a cold, shapeless dread wrestled inside her.
Do I hear 31? 31 anywhere in the room.
Before the silence could settle, the woman lifted her paddle once more.
32,000. I have 32 on paddle 32.
32,000. No one pays that for a ring held together by sentiment. Who is she?
The auctioneer raised his gavel, and the room compressed into a held breath. Karen stopped breathing, caught between a fortune she could almost touch and a suspicion she wasn't ready to face. The gavel slammed down on the block, a sharp, final crack that silenced the room.
Sold. For $32,000 to paddle number 32.
Karen's head swiveled toward the sound, toward the paddle still held high beside her. It belonged to the woman with auburn hair, the one she'd dismissed as a mere spectator.
Number. This can't be real. She's nobody.
Evelyn's expression remained serene, as if she hadn't just spent a fortune without a flicker of emotion.
The ring. Mother's ring. She bought it, sitting right beside me.
Applause erupted around her, but Karen only heard the thundering rush of her own blood.
This was supposed to be my triumph.
She didn't understand how or why, only that the ground had split open beneath her feet.
Who are you? You sat beside me the entire time. Tell me now.
Evelyn lowered her paddle with a quiet click and met Karen's stare with perfect composure.
I am a private agent. I bid on behalf of a client.
A client. Who would pay 32,000 for a dead woman's ring? Who?
Lisa Marlowe.
The name hit Karen like a physical blow. Her lips parted, but no sound came. In a flash, she saw it all. Lisa registering anonymously, hiring an agent, planting her right under Karen's nose. Lisa had never been absent. She had been 3 steps ahead the entire time, invisible and unstoppable.
She planned this from the start. Every smile, every silence. She was setting the trap.
The victory Karen had savored seconds ago now felt like a handful of broken glass. Lisa had registered twice, once by phone to misdirect, and once through Evelyn, her floor agent, to stay invisible to Karen. Karen's high reserve hadn't blocked Lisa. Instead, it drew in real bidders, and Evelyn simply waited until the price left it behind.
15,000 was meant to shut Lisa out. But it became the launch pad that pushed the bidding to 32.
Then came the auction house fees. A 20% buyer's premium, 15% seller's commission, and a stack of smaller charges.
Take away the percentages and the flat fees, and I am walking away with pocket change. This was supposed to be my payday. Now I am sinking in the debt of my own hatred. I built this contraption to destroy her, and the gears are grinding right through me.
Lisa never had to outbid everyone. She let Karen's greed inflate the price, then stepped in when no one else could follow.
She won without showing up. I handed her the ring myself.
The clerk called her name, but Karen couldn't rise. The gavel's echo was still ripping through her. A clerk guided Karen to the settlement desk and slid a single sheet of paper toward her. The paper broke it down. Hammer price, $32,000. Then commissions, premiums, taxes, insurance, listing fees, a mountain of deductions. At the bottom, in bold print, the net proceeds payable to seller, $3,200.
$3,200. I auctioned my mother's ring and walked away with pocket change. The reserve meant nothing. The bidding war was real, but I saw it as profit. Lisa saw it as a shield. She built a machine I couldn't even see, and I fed it my own greed.
She set the paper down. It landed face up, the humiliating number glowing under the desk lamp.
And Lisa hasn't paid a cent. The ring is already hers. I am the one who carried it here and handed it over. She made a fool of me in front of everyone. She'll pay for that.
The numbers had stripped away everything except a pulsing, dangerous rage. Lisa walked through the auction house doors, her stride steady and expression calm. She had known exactly when to appear.
You planned this from the beginning. You used an agent to steal it.
I only followed the rules you set, Karen. You told the whole family to bid like everyone else, so I did.
Hiding behind an agent isn't the same. You knew if I saw you, I'd push the price yourself out of spite.
Ladies, the auction was conducted in full compliance with our rules. The sale is final.
A small crowd had gathered. Staff and lingering bidders, their whispered judgments drifting through the corridor.
Now they all see me as the villain. After everything she took from me.
Lisa didn't flinch. She simply waited, knowing the paperwork was already being prepared on the other side of the counter.
This isn't over. You haven't won anything.
But the auctioneer was already turning away, and the ring was no longer hers to fight for. The auctioneer returned with a slim black box and placed it on the counter before Lisa.
I would have given you half its value, privately, but you chose to auction it to hurt me.
Karen's mouth opened, but the words she'd sharpened for years turned to ash on her tongue.
Now you've lost everything. The money, the ring, and me.
The auctioneer slid the box closer to Lisa with a respectful nod. Lisa lifted the lid. The diamond caught the light and danced across her face.
I kept my promise, Mom.
She didn't gloat. She didn't even look at Karen again.
She's not going to spare me a single word of comfort.
The distance between them was no longer just a few feet of carpet. It was a chasm Karen had dug herself.
Lisa, please. We're sisters. You can't just walk away with everything.
No, Karen. You made sure of that when you put our mother's ring on the auction block.
Ma'am, I am going to have to ask you to leave. This transaction is complete.
Karen's face crumpled, but no tears fell. Only a cold, hard rage replaced the plea. She stormed out without looking back. The echo of her heels faded down the marble corridor.
Thank you, Evelyn. You were perfect.
It was my job, but I am glad it was for a good reason.
And Mr. Harrison, thank you for your fairness throughout this.
The two women exchanged a quiet look of understanding before Evelyn slipped away. Lisa stood alone now, the small black box warm in her palm. The battle was over. The ring was home. Lisa stepped through the auction house doors into the late afternoon sun, the weight of the last weeks finally lifting. She unhooked the clasp, and the ring slid onto her finger as if it had never left. The diamond caught the light, a small star against her skin.
I did it, Mom. Just like I promised.
She turned her hand slowly, watching the gold band she'd feared was lost forever. Half a mile away, Karen sat in her parked car, her fists hammering the steering wheel.
She took everything. The ring, the money, the last piece of our mother.
Her settlement envelope lay crumpled on the passenger seat, a number that mocked everything she'd done. For Lisa, the ring was never about money. It was about a promise her mother had placed in her hand. One kept a promise, the other lost everything. Lisa unlocked her front door, the house hushed in the early evening calm. She walked straight to the mantel. She lifted the framed photograph of her mother, Eleanor's kind eyes meeting hers in the dim light. From her finger, she slipped the ring and set it gently against the glass, right over her mother's heart.
I brought it home, Mom. Just like you wanted.
In the quiet, a memory surfaced, her mother's hand, weathered but graceful, the same ring catching the light as she tucked Lisa into bed. Lisa's throat tightened, but her lips curved into the softest smile she'd worn in months. No applause, no victory speech, just a daughter and a piece of gold that had finally found its way.
You'd be proud, I think. Not of the money or the scheme, of the promise I kept.
She picked the ring up again and slid it back onto her finger, its warmth now layered with memory. The house felt different, as if her mother had been there, nodding once before slipping away. Lisa sat at a sidewalk cafe the next morning, the ring glinting on her finger as she lifted her coffee cup. A friend leaned over from the next table and asked about the ring.
It was my mother's.
She said nothing more. No mention of the auction, the fighting, or Karen. The diamond caught the morning light as she set her cup down, a quiet, steady gleam across town. Karen sat at her kitchen table, the settlement envelope torn open before her.
$3,200. That's what my hatred bought me.
She traced the numbers with her finger, the ink smudged from yesterday's tears. For Lisa, the ring had become a cherished heirloom. For Karen, it was the price of her pride, and the distance between them now measured in more than miles. A few weeks passed, and the seasons began to shift. Lisa's phone buzzed on the garden table. A message from Karen glowed on the screen. "Can we talk?" Lisa read the words, then set the phone face down on the table. She didn't type a reply. Later, she stood at her mother's grave, the ring warm on her hand as she touched the headstone.
I am okay, Mom. I kept it safe.
The diamond caught a ray of sun, casting tiny rainbows across the gray stone. She stayed there for a long while, no more words needed. The ring said everything. Some promises are kept. Some bonds are broken. The ring was proof of both. It wasn't just a piece of jewelry. It was her mother's final, quiet way of saying, "I trust you." And Lisa had proven, through months of silence and one perfect plan, that she was worthy of that trust. Lisa walked through the quiet park, the ring tapping softly against her other fingers as she moved. The diamond caught the afternoon sun, scattering tiny flecks of gold across her path. She paused beneath a canopy of autumn leaves, turning her hand to watch the stone blink back at her. Later, she set the ring back on the mantel, resting against the photograph of her mother, where it belonged.
I kept my promise, Mom.
It was never about the bidding, the agent, or the money. It was about that single, unbroken thread between mother and daughter. The ring was the proof, a circle of gold and diamond that had outlasted spite. Lisa smiled, not a triumphant smile, but the quiet, settled smile of someone who had done exactly what love asked of her. And in the end, that was the only victory that mattered. She walked on, the ring now just a part of her, a quiet companion for the road ahead. The ring sat on the mantel, bathed in the last light of evening. It had no voice, but it told a story. The auction house stood quiet now, its grand doors closed like the final page of a contentious chapter. The crowd had scattered, the thrill of bidding long faded, leaving only the echo of a single gavel strike. That gavel now rested on its block, the wood still bearing the faint impression of its final blow, and on Lisa's hand, the ring caught the light, a steady, quiet pulse, a promise kept. In the end, the ring found its way home, not to Karen's bank account, but to Lisa's heart. Some victories are loud. This one was a whisper. It was, after all, just a ring. But it was also the weight of a mother's final wish. And love, it turns out, has a way of outbidding everything. Fade to black.